Iron deficiency is a huge deal. It's actually one of the most common nutritional problems in the entire world. But the typical treatments, they can come with some really unpleasant side effects. So, what if there was a better way? Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating clinical trial that looks at a natural plant-based solution.
Have you ever had that feeling? That feeling where you're just dragging yourself through the day, no matter how much sleep you get, you just feel like you are constantly running on empty. Well, while a lot of things can cause that, it's also the classic calling card for a very, very common health issue.
And that issue is called iron deficiency anemia, or IDA for short. Now, the easiest way to think about it is like this. Your red blood cells are basically a delivery service for oxygen, and iron is what you need to build the delivery trucks themselves. We call those hemoglobin. So when you're low on iron, you just can't build enough of those trucks. Your body's entire oxygen delivery system gets completely overwhelmed, and that's what leads to that deep, profound exhaustion.
So you think, okay, I'll just take an iron supplement. Easy, right? Well, not so fast. Here's the catch. A lot of the standard synthetic iron supplements are famous for causing stomach issues. We're talking nausea, constipation, just general discomfort. And that's a massive problem, right? Because if you can't stomach the supplement, you're not going to take it and the whole thing is pointless.
Okay, so that's the problem. And this is where our study gets really interesting. Researchers started asking, what if we could solve this by turning to nature? Could a plant-powered approach give people the iron they desperately need, but without all those awful side effects? So the researchers zeroed in on two really cool natural ingredients. First, iron that comes directly from curry leaves, which is a fantastic botanical source. And second, vitamin C, extracted from amla, which you might know as Indian gooseberry. And it's not just about throwing iron at the problem. The combination here is the secret sauce. Vitamin C is a well-known superstar when it comes to helping your body absorb the type of iron you get from plants. It basically gives your body the key to unlock that iron and put it to work.
But, having a great idea is one thing. In science, you've got to prove it. And that's exactly what they did. They didn't just make a claim, they put these ingredients to the test, using what's called the gold standard for clinical research.
They set up a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial. So what does all that jargon mean? Let's break it down real quick. Randomized just means they took 96 adults with iron deficiency and randomly put them into different groups to avoid any bias. Double-blind? This is super important. It means nobody, not the people in the study, not even the scientists, knew who was getting the real supplement and who was getting a fake one. This stops anyone's expectations from messing with the results. And placebo-controlled means one group got a dummy pill with nothing in it, which gives you a perfect baseline to see if the real supplement is actually doing anything.
So here's what that looked like in practice. For 60 days, they had these three separate groups. One group got the placebo. The second group got just the plant-based iron from the curry leaves. And the third group got that same iron, but this time paired with the vitamin C from amla. This setup gave them a really clean way to compare what was actually working.
All right, so the trial is done. 60 days have passed.
The big question is, what did they find? Now we get into the nitty-gritty, the hard data from the participants' blood tests.
First up, hemoglobin. Remember those oxygen delivery trucks we talked about? This is the measure of how many you have. And as you can see, both of the supplement groups saw their hemoglobin levels shoot up compared to the placebo. What's really interesting is that the group taking only the plant iron saw the biggest jump of all, almost 13%. So right away, we know these supplements were working. They were helping the body build more of those crucial delivery trucks. Okay, but here's where things get really interesting and a little nuanced. When they looked at serum iron, which is the amount of iron just floating around in your blood, ready to be used, the picture changes. This time, the group taking iron with vitamin C had the highest increase by far, a huge jump of over 82%. This is massive. It shows that the amla extract was absolutely doing its job, dramatically boosting how much iron was actually getting absorbed into the bloodstream. Next up is something called transferrin. And with this one, a lower number is actually great news. Transferrin is a protein that acts like an iron taxi, driving iron around your body where it needs to go. Think of it this way. When your body is desperate for iron, it sends out a whole fleet of these taxis to find any scrap of iron they can. So when we see a big drop in transferrin like we do in both supplement groups, it's a fantastic sign. It means the body is like, okay, we're good, we have enough iron. Call off the search party. Okay, so the numbers look great. The blood tests check out. But what really, really matters is how people felt, right? I mean, that's the whole point of this. Did their lives actually get better? And wow, the difference was just night and day. Just look at this. Only half the people taking the placebo said they had high energy. But for the group with iron and vitamin C,
that number jumps to 87%. And for the iron-only group, an incredible 96%. That's not just a number on a chart, that's people getting their lives back, feeling that fog of fatigue finally lift.
And it wasn't just about energy. Over 90% of people on either iron supplement felt less tired and even reported being in a better mood. But here's the real kicker, the part that solves the original problem we talked about. A full 100% of the participants on the plant-based supplements reported GI comfort. 100%. Let that sink in. No nausea, no issues. They got all the amazing benefits of iron without any of the side effects that make people quit taking it.
So let's pull all of this together. We've seen the blood work, we've heard how people felt. What's the final takeaway? What's the big picture here? Well, it really boils down to this simple comparison. We know conventional iron works, but often at the price of serious stomach distress. What this study shows is a plant-based alternative that is not only just as effective at raising things like hemoglobin, but it's also incredibly gentle and well-tolerated. It basically offers a way to get the job done without the collateral damage, a solution people can actually stick with long-term. This whole study is just a brilliant example of how a smart, natural approach that's backed by serious science can offer solutions that are powerful and gentle at the same time. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? As we look for answers to our health problems, maybe some of the best solutions have been waiting in nature all along.